When it comes to speaking confidently in public, many people think that I can't do it just because my language sucks. And many people have this mindset that if I will be speaking in English, then only I will be able to impress others, and then only I will look confident and I will appear cool to others. But the fact is completely different. You can be a horrible speaker even in your mother tongue, and you can be exceptionally good and confident while communicating even in English or any foreign language. So it is all about confidence. Many people think that language is a barrier, and that's why I cannot speak confidently in public, and that's why I feel hesitant to speak with other person. But let me tell you one thing, that your language is not a barrier. Because I have seen a lot of people who are speaking in their mother tongue, but still they are fumbling a lot, and they are getting nervous a lot, and they are not as confident as they should be. And I have also seen people who are speaking in their foreign language, and they're speaking in a language which is not their mother tongue, but still they are very confident. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how can you speak in English or in any language confidently in front of public. So before I share any tricks and techniques that how to speak confidently in public, let me share my personal story with all of you, because a lot of people have asked me that where did this confidence come from and how did you become this much confidence while speaking in English. So let me tell you one thing, that I was not born with this confidence. Even just a year ago, I was extremely horrible at communicating with others. I was that underconfident who was scared to talk to someone who was sitting next to me. And I was that underconfident girl who was scared to talk to even my classmates. So coming from that girl who was afraid to talk to someone because she was full of insecurities and she was extremely underconfident, to this girl who is able to communicate with anybody in English, it was a long journey. And it took me a lot of time to build this habit and to build this kind of confidence so that I can communicate with anybody. So now coming back to the step, that how can you speak confidently in public. So the first step I would like to recommend you is to speak clearly and loudly. It is something I would love to emphasize so much because it holds a lot of potential. Probably you may not understand it right now, but once you adapt this habit and once you started speaking confidently in public, you may realize that speaking clearly and a bit loudly in public is extremely crucial. Recently, I was talking to someone, and that person started talking about his problems, that what kind of difficulties he is going through nowadays. And when he mentioned that I can speak English confidently, but if I have to speak in a meeting or if I have to speak in a group and then I try to speak, everybody starts talking at the same time. And in this way, my confidence level goes down. And when I heard his story, I was like, yeah, this is something I can completely understand, because I have seen a lot of people struggling with this issue. And then I suggested him that if you want to speak confidently in public, then make sure you are increasing your volume slightly. By saying increasing your volume, I definitely don't mean you have to scream at other person or you have to shout in that group or in that meeting. But by saying this, you have to increase your volume slightly. You have to speak a bit louder than your usual volume. And I can completely understand this problem because this is something I have experienced personally. So what exactly happens? Whenever we go to attend our class teacher help us to get ready our notes. And once we are done with our notes, she would allow us 5 to 10 minutes so that we can write the conclusion about the topic which we have covered right now. And once we are done with the conclusion, she would pick 3 to 4 students each day and made them stand up so that they can speak about the topic which they have covered right now. I have seen a lot of students having amazing speeches, but the mistake they were making was not speaking clearly and loudly. And when I heard their speeches, I was like, they could have made an impression, but they were not speaking loudly and they were speaking really soft, so that if a person who is sitting around 10 to 15 feet away from them, they can't hear that. And my point is, if somebody cannot hear you what you are speaking, then why would they bother to force themselves to listen what exactly you are saying? This is something I'm not flexing about, but I just want you to know that it does happen and it does work. Because whenever I have gotten chance to speak in my classroom, I always make sure that I'm speaking a bit louder than my usual volume, and I'm increasing my volume slightly, because whenever I increase my volume, I feel confident, and in this way I am letting everybody know that what exactly I'm speaking. And whenever I have spoken so far, everybody keeps their mouth shut and everybody listens to me carefully. I don't know whether they listen to me or not, but at that time nobody really speaks. And even though if somebody does, probably they whisper, because I have never heard anybody speaking while I am speaking loudly in front of my classroom. So there's one thing I would like to recommend you, that if you have to speak in public, or if you have to speak in your classroom or in a meeting or in front of a group, then make sure that you are raising your voice a bit. You have to speak a bit louder so that everybody can understand. And there's one thing you can realize, I don't know whether you realize or not, but if you are raising your voice and if you are speaking a bit louder, then you will automatically start feeling confident. So this is something you must try if you want to feel confident while speaking in public. Another thing I would like to recommend you, if you want to speak confidently in front of public or in front of anybody, then please make sure that you are speaking slowly. This is something I have struggled with a lot, because I have this horrible habit to speak fast. Whether I speak Hindi or English, it does not matter, but I speak really fast. And this is something I don't really appreciate. I mean, I always try to be conscious that I'm not speaking fast, but sometimes it does happen that I'm going with the flow and I would start speaking really fast. But as soon as I realize that I am speaking really fast, I try to make myself understand that no, you have to slow down, you have to speak slowly, because I am speaking here just because I want others to understand me and I just want to talk about my opinions and my ideas. That's why I am speaking here. But if I'm speaking in a way that nobody is able to understand, then does it make sense? Not really. So make sure that whenever you are speaking in public, you are speaking slow so that everybody can understand. You don't have to be in rush that, oh, like I am getting late. And even though if you are getting late, you should not be speaking fast, because your point is to make your point very clear. You are speaking here just because you want others to understand about what you want to say. So keep this thing in your mind, that if you are speaking in public, try to speak slowly so that everybody can understand that what exactly you are trying to make them understand. Another thing I would like to recommend you, if you want to speak confidently in public, is to use simple words. Because if you have this kind of mindset that if I will be using fancy words or if I will be using advanced words, then only I will be able to impress others, then it will cause you a lot of trouble. Because if you have to speak in public, you already have some sort of pressure that you have to perform better, you have to give your level best, and you already have some sort of burden in your head or in your shoulder. I don't know. I mean, already you know that you have a lot of pressure. But if you would force yourself that you have to come up with advanced words and you have to use fancy words, then it will put you in trouble and it will not make you feel relaxed. And if you are not relaxed, then how can you expect from yourself to perform better? So try to use simple words. Try to keep it simple and as minimal as you can. This is something I have personally observed, that earlier when I used to make my videos, I used to come up with advanced words and different fancy words so that I will be able to impress everybody. But now I realize that when I was forcing myself to come up with fancy and advanced words, it led me to a stressful situation. But now I realize that no, I'm not going to run behind those fancy words. I will try to explain everything in my own words, because if I am trying to explain everything in simple words, it helps me to just explain everything in a better way. So that's why I try to use simple and minimal words so that I can explain myself in a better way. Next one is body language. Body language is one of the essential steps when it comes to making you look more confident, because if you are someone who is using your hands and your body to represent yourself and to express your thoughts, then it will make you look more enthusiastic and it will help you to articulate your thoughts in a better way, and it will also help other person to understand what exactly you are trying to say, and you will look more confident. You will not go through awkward situations that what am I supposed to do with my hands, how to use my hands, how to stand up and all. When it comes to facial expressions, I don't know whether you guys have noticed it or not, but I change my facial expressions a lot. Sometimes I would raise my eyebrows, sometimes you may see some wrinkles in my forehead, sometimes I would make my face in a different way, and I do it unintentionally. I mean, I am not even aware of it. I don't know that I am making different kind of faces, but it happens automatically. And whenever I just try to use my body language to elaborate my thoughts and to express myself, I do it in a better way. Another one is practice relaxation technique. This is something I have never believed in, because I used to think that how can practicing relaxation technique calm me? I mean, here I am getting nervous, then how can taking deep breath calm me? So like that kind of mindset I had. But once I started using it properly, once I started taking deep breath whenever I have to speak in front of classroom, or even if I have to speak on a phone call, I always make sure that I'm taking a deep breath so that I will let go all the negative energy and I will come up with immense amount of confidence. So yeah, try this one, because it will help you a lot to speak confidently whenever you have to speak in public. So these are the 5 steps I always follow whenever I have to speak in public, because it helps me to speak confidently and articulate my thoughts in a better way. And apart from these 5 steps, there is another thing I would like to recommend you, that try to train your brain that you have potential to achieve a lot of things. You just have to train your brain that you have confidence, you have got everything, you just need to work on it. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you got some kind of valuable lessons from this video. Then please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and I will see you very soon in the next video. Bye.